Alright, so this is the second tutorial regarding working in Sketchfab. Uh, yeah, and the importing your Maya file. Alright, so you make an account. It's very straightforward. You don't have to do the whole plugin or all that other stuff. So you just make the account, verify it, because they'll send it via email. And then from there, you're just going to go upload. Okay, so you don't have to do any of this, right? This is the one where I ran into a hiccup, a road jam, technical problem, because the exporter is garbage. And you want to just click here. And since I named it specifically Maya to Sketchfab export, test file to export, open, and then upload files. So it'll take a bit of a moment. I'm gonna pause the video. Alright, so it finally uploaded. It took a while, maybe what, 2 minutes maybe, around there, or just under 2 minutes. Alright, so it's gonna show up here. If I hit play, yeah, well, you name it, and then you could put a little description, tags, categories. Tags are this one, categories, where you want to put in. You could also have allow comments on or off, allow texture inspection, allow people to inspect unwrapped textures in model inspector. This is fine. Age restricted content, blah blah blah. Download, no, that's good. Don't allow people to download your stuff. Alright, so if I hit play, loading 3D model, here it is, right? It's got a little thumbnail, virtual thumbnail. You can zoom in on it, right? You don't see the you don't see the texture, but we'll fix that. So we're going to do, main thing is edit 3D settings. So we'll bring in here. You may get a little bit intimidated because you might think, oh no, like another software to learn, but I'll try to make it as painless as possible. Okay, so alright, you have the little icons here, and we don't have a texture. But first, let's discuss about navigation. If you want to rotate, like I mentioned in the previous video, you click on the left mouse button and you just kind of turn left to right, up and down. Right. If you want to pan, middle mouse, click and drag. If you want to zoom in, mouse scroll. And then you can also left click to rotate around. Hold down the middle mouse to pan up, rotate. Middle mouse to pan. Mouse scroll to zoom out a bit. Yep. And then let's add the texture back on. Materials. It's equivalent to the hypershade. Right. So you got a whole bunch of stuff, right? Let's just close everything out so you don't get overwhelmed. Okay. What you want to do is PBR maps. Sounds weird, but you just want to click on that. It gives you a little thing, but that doesn't really help either. Set the characteristics of the primary PBR materials. Anyway, So there's metalness and specular. These two, they provide different look to it. So you know what, let's just mess around with metalness. Base color, you want to click on that, and this is where you might get a little bit confused, but you want to click on texture, right? It's like a little hidden little thing over here. Once you click on texture, it'll change to this. Alright, so I'll do it again. Previously, this is what you see. Okay. And then you want to click on texture. That's if you have a texture. Then from there, you can either manage texture or choose texture. If you choose texture, it should pop up. Okay. And it looks like trash. And that's for me. I had something, right? So where I have it repeating texture. I need to at least explain this. So this thing here is where it'll repeat the texture. So this file, right, is being repeated by this. I put here 16 by 16, so it's going to repeat 16 times. So with that being said, I need to repeat this, and then that's under UV transform. For those of you that don't have repeating textures, right, you don't have to worry about it. But for later on, when you take more and more 3D classes and you do repeating textures, this is where to find it. Again, base color and manage textures. Wait, not manage textures. Base color, UV transform. And then that's how you repeat it. Okay. So that's your base color. Right. And then this is your metalness, just like in Maya, Arnold. Can make it look more metallic. See, it's already getting the glints. See that? And then you can choose the color of it. Right now it's kind of shade of gray. Choose texture. I can choose my regular color map. And I'll take up that color. And then, but I need to set it to 16. Repeat it. And then specular. I can choose that. Turn this on to repeat the tiling. If you don't have this, you don't have to worry about it. But if you just have a regular texture, yeah, you want to follow the procedure, to turn on the textures, which I mentioned. Let's just quickly review. You click on your materials tab, and then you close everything else. Open up PBR, and you can either choose metalness or specular. There are two different things, different looks to give you in a way. And then base color, manage texture, and you choose that. Or it's this one right here, tiny texture. Either or will pretty much take you to the same place, but if you click on that, before it was set to none, but you want to set to tiny texture. This will slot. Right. And then these will determine like the metalness, specular, the shine of it. One is set to full strength, base color. You can tone it down. See how dull it gets. Specular. Okay, so that's that part. Let me close that. And then this one here, I can turn it on. it gives you a different feel of a metallic look to it, see? So then same thing, I can click on that, texture, click on that. Just like the same procedures, choose texture, tiling texture. If it looks bad, because I gotta repeat it, UV transform, click on the link, meaning it's gonna, constrain. Well, it should have worked, but it didn't this time. Whatever. So that's that part. And then let's see a bump mat. Let's just do one more bump mat. Normal bump mat. Let me close this. Bump mat. Turn it on. And I can just click on that, choose texture, tiling texture. My color texture will work to a certain extent. And then now it looks like this, right? It doesn't look great. But I just gotta make sure that, wait, no. Wait a minute, let me pause the video for a bit. Alright, so I was putting things into the normal map. So you wanna just do that, click on this. And then click on your not your manage textures, but the list, the drop down list that lets you choose none. So normal map is like a better version of a bump map. It's different. You want to click on that instead, bump map. Click on that, swatch, choose texture, tiling texture, snake, and then UV transformations. This is for my specific use case where I have tiling textures, right? If you do not, don't worry about it. Just make sure to turn on your textures if you have one. And that's it. And you can see a bit of a bump on it. If I set it to say 2, type in 2, enter, you'll see it more. If I type in say 5, you can see a whole lot more. See? So that's that part. So mainly, your PBR is where you get your color, and you could get a little bit confused whether metalness or specular, right? See, they're different. It switches to something else. You could just work in metalness, and then roughness, all of that. Your best bang for the buck is your PBR and your bump map. But make sure to choose on this because it'll be set to this. But you want to choose that. And lastly, not lastly, but there's also your ambient occlusion. Let's leave that alone. Let's go to lighting, okay? Because there's no shadows, it'll give you shadows. So let's close this. Ground shadows on, gives you ground shadows. If you want more of a subtle shadow, there's something called AO, ambient occlusion baked. So it'll do that, soft shadows, soft contact shadows, and it does the rendering for you. And then if you want the contact to be higher, see it's kind of floaty, you can get the height, maybe, see this? It gives you a virtual grid plane for you to make contact, see? Right there, so you can make it snug. Right now it's a bit much. Right there, perfect. Okay. So it's rendering. And one last thing is where your environment. So you could click on that. These are HDRIs. These are emitting, light and color and contact shadows that come from the virtual sun. So, for example, you could choose something like this one gives interesting colors. See, because the galaxy and gives off a purple, pink tint to it, reflection. So the pink stuff is coming from these. Yeah. And then orientation, so you can change the direction. See? Brightness, how bright the source, your light source is. And then shadows, well, yeah, I'll leave it alone. So brightness. And then you could click on set as background. We'll change it so you get a nice gradient. Let's say you choose this one. Okay, it changes. And the orientation changes as well. Or you choose this one. Orientation, change where the light source is coming from. Light intensity. Yeah. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. And then from there, you can publish. You could save the settings. Let's publish it. Save and publish. Okay, got it. Let's see my model. And there we are. So yeah, that's pretty much everything. Okay, so I'm gonna put this on Sync Sketch and stuff like that. All right, bye.